Welcome to the weekend preview edition of This Weekend Yuki Productions. This time around, we'll be looking at what's going to happen this weekend for content and streaming. I hope you guys are ready to see what we have in store for you. And a little preview for next week at the end as well. So this weekend in terms of streaming and content, tonight we have two episodes of Final Fantasy 9 for you. We have episode 13 and 14. Tonight at 5:30 is episode 13, and tonight at 9:30 is episode 14. Tonight we are headed back. We are going to take back Alexandria from Kuja, who attacked Alexandria in our last episode last night, and we're gonna take it back. We're gonna take it back to that castle with Beatrix and Steiner. And then next week, it is possible we are headed to the Forgotten Continent in Final Fantasy IX. Keep in mind that we will be visiting our old friends in Lindblom and some other locations that we're going to revisit for a few times before we head to the Forgotten Continent. It's going to be a major part of the game now, as we're about to enter the second half of Final Fantasy IX. Also, this weekend we have the Super Mario 64 ROM hack, Star Attack Rebooted Part 2. We're gonna have that. We're gonna play with that on tomorrow night, Saturday night at 5:30, and we're going to conclude our Saturday. Our Saturday slate will be ending with the Mario Maker night for Super World. So if you have a Super World that you want to see played, make sure you leave it in the comments below or somewhere. Let me know during Mario Maker night. Then on Sunday we're gonna have a mystery game. We're gonna have a little mystery game for you guys. I cannot tell you what it is. All I'm gonna say it's an anime game. And yeah, I love anime too. Okay, so what else is coming up for this weekend besides that mystery game and Final Fantasy 9 and Mario? Well, we have for you, but the Francis the Hedgehog is back in terms of reaction videos. And yes, we are going to be reacting to, of course, the Maria arc of Shadow the Hedgehog. I'm excited for that. He gave me permission to do that with Francis the Hedgehog. So I'm very excited about that one. So that will be on his channel and this channel. So his channel as in Francis the Hedgehog, shown here, that will be posted there. And then it will also be posted here on the main channel as well. So double shadow if you will. I will warn you, however, this is the Maria arc, and there is going to be an episode, I believe, Shadow's Depression. This I will warn you, this will go into sensitive topics. Okay? So keep that in mind. There might be a disclaimer. Even though this is a VR chat role playing series, I still have to warn everybody about potential stuff. Okay? So yes, we are going to react to the Maria arc of Shadow the Hedgehog with Francis the Hedgehog. Okay. Now, I would like to give some love to our community tab. Ladies and gentlemen, community tab, my favorite tab in YouTube. So, we have some polls for you that you guys were able to vote on, including one from Mario Maker Yuki, and I gotta tell you, you guys like VTubing a lot. You know why? Because 12 hours ago, I mentioned, I asked, should we have a VTuber model for JRPG games? JRPG games referring to Final Fantasy IX, Tales of Graces, and anything like that. And you guys unanimously said yes, please do. Okay, I'm like, okay, we're gonna do that. We're gonna have VTubing model for JRPG games. Now, am I going to be trying to make it based on a character? Maybe. I have two favorite characters in Final Fantasy IX now. It's Freya, number one. Number two is Aiko. Aiko because she's cute. Yeah, nothing more. No, I'm just kidding. She's energetic. She's cute. She's she's beautiful too. Freya, however, on the other hand, is my number one because she can slay. She can slay. Like, hey, yo. She has a spear, she can slay. So, yeah, Freya's number one. As far as the Mario Maker Yuki um, one for the VTubing model, you guys also said yes. So, yes, 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 and yes, and yes, and yes, and yes. So, yes, VTubing is back for JRPG games, um, Mario Maker, and the ROM hacks for Super Mario 64. Keep in mind, those are three different models I'm making in VRoid Studio. I'm using VRoid Studio to make these so that I don't have to pay $600 for three models. I'm like, no thanks. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna have some fun with that. The first, it, because we're still working on Final Fantasy 9 tonight, I might debut it tonight, maybe next week. I'll see. Okay, for VTubing on the main channel, the only content that's not getting a VTuber model is gaming news because I have to keep that wide open. Okay, so gaming news will not receive a VTuber model. Okay, VR chat is obvious that I have to because it's VR chat and all that good stuff. Members only content is returning soon, so get ready for that. I'm still thinking I'm going to see what I want to do with that because I don't want to start um because the grind shows I'm doing is going to be required more, especially in Final Fantasy 9 because of the fact that we're about to enter the second half of the game. The second half of the game, if I remember correctly, is going to be the hardest half. The first half, which we finished yesterday, was not as bad as you think. It's just that we got a few unlucky breaks. But I'm gonna warn you, when we get into the second half, expect more grinding. Expect more grind shows during the time that we're gonna finish Final Fantasy 9. Because when I played this 10 years ago for the first time, it was not easy. I'm gonna tell you now, it's not easy. It's not an easy game to just pick up and play. It's a great game. Don't get me wrong, but Final Fantasy 9 is not easy. So you're gonna have to grind it out, and and you're gonna see more grind shows for that particular game during the time that we're in the second half. I will tell you the final boss is not Kuja, but I'm gonna tell you the final boss is dangerous, even though if it's not Kuja. Next thing, gaming news. For this weekend, maybe not much yet. Usually, I don't do gaming news on the weekends. However, you never know. This is the gaming industry we're talking about, and anything can break at any time. So do keep in mind that it is possible for a gaming news episode on a weekend. Just don't expect it 100% of the time because you never know what's going to break, what is going to happen. Gaming news is happening at every day of the week in terms of like actual reality. But for like gaming news that's big news for gaming industry, not much. So we'll see what happens on the weekend if I need to break some news. If I do, I will have an episode. If not, we're back next week. That's just how gaming news sometimes works. Okay, now let's talk about our series going on with as a little preview for next week. So we are in round two of the tournament gauntlet in Mario Golf Dota Tour with featuring Francis the Hedgehog. I've noticed a lot of stuff here. Okay, I noticed some interesting numbers so far. If watching on the main channel, it gets less views, but watching on his channel, it gets more. Interesting. It has happened again. What I mean by that? Mario Maker has done that again. Look at this. So Mario Maker is known on my channel because I've started here, okay, on the main channel. But when I started the Mario Maker Yuki channel on YouTube, I was just using that as an experiment. It's no longer an experiment, it's a real thing now. Because that channel receives more views than the main channel in terms of Mario Maker. Now, obviously, I streamed the thing on the main channel too, and I do have a Twitch for that. But the fact that that other channel for Mario Maker is getting more views is interesting. Francis the Hedgehog channel is following Mario Maker, literally. Because as you can see, on the main channel for the exact same stream we did on it was Wednesday for for Mario Golf, it only got 8 views on the main channel. On his channel, Francis the Hedgehog, 29. That's over that's over 3 times as much as the main channel. And here's another thing. If we look at his channel again, Francis the Hedgehog for a few for a few of the episodes that we did for Mario Golf, day one got 63. And I think on the main channel that only got 20 something. Day 4 got 29. Day 3 we got 7. Okay? Day 2 got 44. So there's something going on with the algorithm here. And I think I can see what's going on. I can't explain it because I'm going to go into nerdy stuff, and I don't want to get into nerdy stuff on the weekend. I'll do that next week. I'll be the nerdy stuff guy, if you will, next week again when we talk about another thing that's going to come back, or I should say another thing that's going to start. How about video editing tutorials? That's right. So I don't know if you guys have noticed that my content has been getting quote unquote brighter in recent days. What do I mean by that? Well, it's been getting quote unquote brighter because video editing. That's why. And here's what I'm referring to. So, as you guys know, Wolf Ventures is officially coming back, but not yet. We're practicing video edits, video edits for a few reasons. So, back in last year, we had an episode Kyle and Gio visit Francis in the hospital, and that original one got, I believe, 40 something. Yeah, 46 views. Again, not bad. Fast forward to a few days ago. I remastered this thingy. This episode I got remastered with DaVinci Resolve 18. Color correction, color grading, and I tried to learn how to use lookup tables. Same episode, but now in DaVinci Resolve 75 views. Okay? I did the same treatment for Kyle visits G I mean Kyle visits Kyle meets Gio the Wolf in VR chat episode that was that was also last year. I remastered a little bit, 30 views. Now, I believe that original one got more. Let me see if I was right on that. Kyle meets Gio got 62, the original. So yeah, it does need a little more. It needs to cook a little more, if you will. But I think it's on the right path. And then recently on the Mario Maker Yuki channel, I decided, you know what? Let me flex my muscles. Let me flex my editing muscles a little bit. Even though it's not a real Mario Maker Yuki video because it's not a playthrough, it's not a super world. It's something like an experimental thing. I I showed an infographic video. Like I made an infographic video for that channel. It actually has 94 views right now, which is interesting because I never knew that channel is interested in Mario Maker Yuki infographics. So that's very interesting. And it's only a 25-second video because I wanted to flex my muscles. That's it. 25 seconds. And believe it or not, there's another one I'm thinking of releasing that I made as part of a tutorial for learning how to do infographic videos in DaVinci Resolve 18 using the starter pack. Okay, and that's for Call of Duty material. That's a Call of Duty infographic. Okay, so now keep in mind that if you watch this today, obviously the numbers are wrong because I did this a few days ago when I had the right numbers. So this is more of a test to see if you like infographics because what I'm thinking of doing is more like a state of the Yuki thing with infographics. So I mentioned that we actually had an infographic for this channel and for the main channel, and I think it's because I showed it off. Okay, so actually it was not a video; it was a post. It was like an image post on a community tab, and that was on a few days. I know it was a few days ago too. It was it was more of a test to see if you like infographics. Here we go. So this is the infographic I did for January 2024 in terms of how we did. So this infographic is showing you how we did on streams, what's the top three games, what's the top three characters in VR chat, and the top three graph. I could make this a video if I wanted to for January. Obviously, it's late because I just learned how to do these things a few days ago. But I could do one for February next month. Like I could actually do an infographic video now that I know about how to do it. Something like this, but an infographic where I show you guys, hey, this is how we did, and here are the top three characters and all that good stuff. Okay, now keep in mind the numbers are a little inflated for Super Mario Brothers Wonder because we finished the game this month, and technically the numbers are supposed to be for January. But since we finished it, I'm gonna count those. Mario Maker 2 is an open game, so you never finish that. VR Chat Live is an open thing. You never finish that. That's why those numbers are based on the month. Okay? So if you take out Mario Wonder in terms of the rest of the views in February, you're going to end up with about 500 something. Which is not bad. Now, in terms of other material, we are also diving back into Infinite Zone. That's next week, though. We're going to. I think I've noticed something. I have not tested this on his actual channel, the Infinite Zone, but I've noticed that Sonic characters get more love. Obviously, the reason why the Infinite is a Sonic character, duh. But I really think it's much more. If we look at his channel, even when on his channel, Sonic characters get more love than characters from other games. I think it goes without saying that Infinite the Jackal is a Sonic character. The reason why I wanted to try something else is because you want to experiment as a content creator. You don't want to just be a one trick pony. That's not how this thing works anymore. Because in content creation terms, it's like a job. Do you want to stay at your job, the same job? Obviously, if you love your job, stay there, please. Please do. But are you willing to do the same trick over and over and over again? I don't think so. If you're a content creator, your job is to entertain, number one. Number two is to be creative. Don't just be a one trick pony, okay? If you're a one trick pony, the one trick is going to expire unless you're really good at it, okay? The one trick pony thing is not going to work as a content creator. That's why you gotta experiment. What if we never start a VR chat? Then there's no MRPs. What if we don't start Infinite Zone? Then there's no reaction videos. What if we never start a Francis the Hedgehog channel? Then there's no reaction videos with him. And for that matter, there's no Francis the Hedgehog VR chat. I'm getting a character. We're getting a character reveal. We're getting our mascot and potentially his brother. I mean, excuse me, potentially his sisters, Luna and Freya. No pun intended to you know who. I mean, Freya, as in Final Fantasy IX Freya. I could change Freya the Hedgehog's color scheme to match Freya Crescent from Final Fantasy IX. Okay, gray and red, easy, easy peasy lemon squeezy right there. I could do that. So that's the Moonlight Trio, the three Moonlight Trio right there. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, good. That's the weekend wrap for Yuki Productions this week. Next week we are going to be diving into more Final Fantasy IX with the Forgotten Continent. We're going to go to the Forgotten Continent. Then we're back to church volunteering on Friday, so only one stream on Friday next week, and for the next two Fridays after today. And then we're back to our Mario Maker. We're gonna have Mario Maker Monday. We're gonna have Mario Maker. We're gonna have viewer level Mondays, endless runs Wednesdays, and our Super World Saturdays. I believe, however, next Saturday is the last Saturday of no, actually tomorrow. Excuse me. Tomorrow is the last Saturday of um the month. So we're gonna have to do some speed running tomorrow. So yes, speed running tomorrow, folks. We're going to speed run our Super Worlds tomorrow. Okay, so there might be another stream. We'll see if I'm gonna keep that stream for Mario six, 64 because we're gonna speed run a Super World tomorrow. We only have one Super World to speed run, unfortunately, because I have to figure out how I want to do the other one. Jada Kid 1 has a very good Super World. Don't get me wrong, but it is a long one and it's not easy. It's a great Super World. Don't get me wrong, but based on what I saw by playthrough, I have to see if I'm gonna have to speed run that in segments or do I really go for it the whole night, the one night. So we have one Super World speed run tomorrow at least. Okay, we're going to have split. Okay, that's all for now. We will see you guys tonight for Final Fantasy IX. Two episodes of Final Fantasy IX. We might. We'll see if we can get to. It's a. It's a. It's a stretch, but we'll see if we can hit the Forgotten Continent tonight. But definitely to next week, next Tuesday or so. Yeah, that's all, y'all. We see you guys at 5:30 for Taking Back Alexandria in Final Fantasy IX Episode 13. Enjoy. We'll see you guys in about a few more hours.